Yes, people, big up, big up, big up. 12th man is back. This is London is back. We got no D in the house today. He's working. He can't get out of it. He's gutted because obviously he was buzzing. But you know what? It's time for Rich to step in, man. Big up to you, Rich. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
I bet
great.
you are,
Just
bro.
looking forward to 3 weeks' time and hopefully define the odds. Hopefully,
Man,
Rich, don't take it easy on Lawless today, you know. Yeah, you're replacing D today. Don't take it easy on this guy.
you know what?
Listen. You're filling
I'll
the
tell you.
shoes of Don's daddy. Yeah, Don's daddy D. Yeah, so that's why he
One thing I
wants you
will
to,
say though,
do his
I,
job.
I,
He wants you to be
I've
his
always, I've
daddy.
always been a very humble guy, as you know. We've not won anything yet, so I'll leave D to come back and do the.
Yeah, a
That's
normal
D's job. I
Palace
can't
fan,
replace
imagine
him
that.
like that.
You're so lucky, Lawless. You're so lucky, man. You're so lucky he's not here. I'm telling
Oh, let you cry. Let you can't. Oh no, Daddy D's not here. He can't
you.
handle
Come
it.
here.
it's hilarious because Don and D on the group chat is just watching them two and Lawless is actually popcorn moments. Like real talk, it's funny. I don't know if Deji feels the same because me and him just sit back, but I read some of the chats and I'm like, these three going at it, it's unbelievable. Like pause. Do you know what I'm saying? It's absolute madness. Absolute madness. But
Right.
big up to Deji, big up to Lawless, big up to Don, of course, as well. And congratulations to Rich for getting to the final. I think all of us can probably agree that we would be happy to see Palace lift a trophy for the first time in their history. Unfortunately, D will be absolutely insufferable. So some of us on the panel probably don't want you to do it, if I'm honest with you. I personally have always had a little bit of a soft spot for Palace. I quite liked them. Obviously, Wright, he was there and stuff. But then I met D and I'm like, oh, now I'm not sure. So it's quite hard, man. But big up to you, man. And we're going to start there because the FA Cup this weekend, we've just seen Manchester City get to the final as well. And obviously, Palace yesterday absolutely tore Aston Villa apart. Before I come to you, Rich, Lawless, what about yourself? Because you and D, you have a weird relationship. And I suppose the FA Cup is something you've probably not taken much of an interest in this season. But it's now Palace versus Manchester City. Palace deserve to be there, bruv. They were brilliant yesterday, Lawless.
Yeah, well, listen, Villa let me down. Fully expected them to turn up and do the business, but they've just turned to shit. Absolute letdown. Sorry, Rich, but obviously I wanted Palace to get knocked out. That's what it is. I wanted Palace to get knocked out. Didn't happen. They're through to the final, and now I'm going to be pulling for West Ham, Chester City.
Lawless, you're killing me. Look. What? They haven't even won it yet. They haven't even got to Wembley yet. And my man's got his glasses on, all confused. Yeah, yeah. You're looking confused right now, Lawless. I'm telling you, bro. Rich, if you win the FA Cup, yeah, I don't think this guy will be able to turn up. I told him on the group chat, the stress will make him grow hair.
They're going to win it.
To be fair, I did say before we started that if we win it, you'll see a different me. You'll see a different me.
I need that. That's what we need, bro.
I need it. Are they going to win it, Don? Are they going to win it? Are they going to win it?
I hope they do, man. I hope they do.
Are they going to win? Stop doing this every time. Straight.
I hope they do.
Every fucking time.
I know. Lawless, fish your glasses, bro.
I need to look around it with my glasses to.
I just want to big up Palace, man. Glasner. There was a lot of Palace fans at the beginning of the season getting cold feet, wanting to get rid of man, but you held it down, and if you give him time, he's shown his class. I think that's a formidable squad, man. I think it's a brilliant team. And who else but Plymouth's bogey team? Because you, man, don't mind playing Plymouth at the Etihad, and now you've got an opportunity to play them at Wembley. Now, there is one thing I need to say on this show, because there's been some shamelessness from some of the panelists, not on this particular show, but the Race for Europe show. And I know they're going to be watching this back later, and they need to hold this. So certain man then were given Newcastle props for achieving the Carabao Cup. Some were even saying it was all right to cry for that trophy. And I said, with chest, that Newcastle should not be crying for a Carabao Cup. And I'll say it and I'll say it again. Palace, on the other hand, should you win the FA Cup, it is worth a cry. It's worth a cry because this is the third time in your life that you've seen a final. We've talked Papa John's, we've talked Aldi Cup, we've talked all sorts of cups. You have made it to a final. For that is tear-worthy. I would shed a tear for that. And I hope for Glasner, for Eze, for Adam Walton, for Lacroix, for Mateta. These are all the man them I want from your club, by the way, this summer. I hope that they do it, man, and you slap up Plymouth in the final, bro. It is well-deserved. You, man, are on job. But that there for the panelists, Dan, you can let the man them tomorrow for Race for You. Hold that. That is worthy of a teardrop. Thank you.
Listen, man, I gotta say fair play and big up because Palace getting to a final. I know you've done it before. Was it Man United you lost to last time, Rich?
Yeah, another Manchester club.
Well, maybe you get the Manchester club right this time, man, because there's Louis van Gaal, I'm sure, last time. Look, I hope you do it. I thought that Manchester City were going to win the FA Cup, and I was hoping that Villa or someone they got in the draw before Forest could do it, but they haven't managed to. They've got to the final, and I do fancy them to win it still. I'm not going to change my opinion. However, I don't want them to win it. And as much as I think D would be insufferable, I just turn my phone off for that weekend and then just say fair play Palace. Do you know what I'm saying?
For that weekend, you don't realise this guy is insufferable 24/7 as much as it is. You can turn your phone. You better just throw your phone in the river, mate. Yeah, and just never get another replacement because he's going to be insufferable forever.
Yeah, you might have to block him.
Oh. Yeah, what does it matter, man? You've got a trophy in Europe, haven't you? You've got a European trophy. What does it matter?
Yeah, but this is the thing. This guy, he's the way he talks now. Oh, we have trophies. We have the data systems, Zenit data system trophy. We have a playoff trophy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he already just talks so much shit. It would be unbearable. The thing is, if I could get him to sign a contract, a legally binding contract, that if Palace win the FA Cup, he can never gloat about it to me, never throw it in my face, never say anything about in your lifetime, in my lifetime. He's never allowed to say, I'll support Palace. Until that contract appears and materializes, I'm sorry I have to be supporting Man City because I can't be having all this crap of conversations about lifetime. Trophies only matter in lifetimes. We're equal because it's our lifetime. Bollocks, man.
It's gonna burn you though, isn't it? Because you're probably not going to see an FA Cup in your lifetime. So if D gets one,
well, that's a stupid thing to say. That's a fucking stupid thing to say, isn't it, Don? Because if Palace can win one in my lifetime, damn sure West Ham can win one in my lifetime. What are you talking about?
You're not Palace, are you? You're not Palace, are you?
We'll come to you.
Oh, mate. We're not Palace. We're not. I'm really sorry, Rich. I'm really sorry for the strays that Don is bringing you. We're not Palace. The Palace that have never won a trophy. We're not that Palace. Yeah?
We're talking about the now, mate. We're talking about the now,
mate.
Now you're lucky you didn't get relegated, bro. You know what I'm saying? The now is you're lucky that you didn't get relegated, bro. Yeah? And I'm telling you, bro, if you don't fucking fix up your recruitment in the summer, you'll find yourself back in there in the championship, yeah?
How are we lucky?
You know what I mean?
How are we lucky?
I remember when you man went down with Vaz Tay and them, man. You think I've forgotten? Remember Vaz Tay, bro?
Oh, shut up, Don, with your... fan, yeah? Oh, yeah, look, I remember Vaz Tay, because you're a fucking undercover West Ham fan.
He got you back up, bro. He got you back up. It's all right. He got you back up. He's going to get you back up this time. He's going to get you back up this time.
You're not in the West Ham section. You're supposed to be fucking sucking off Palace as usual. And saying like how they're going to win the trophy. You still ain't put your chest out and said they're going to win it. Huh?
Listen, come the week of the game, we'll talk because injuries can happen. Form happens, right? When is the final?
So relax yourself.
I think Palace can do it, though.
When's the final?
I think
May 17th.
May 17th. Bro, I'm telling you, any team that City wanted to play, they don't want to play Palace. Like what did you say? That's their bogey team, bro. Right? I know a few weeks ago, Man City managed to come back in that game because of Kamada fucking giving the momentum. But if you actually watch that game, They should have comfortably been at least 3 goals up. Eze even scored a goal. Eze even scored a goal that was offside, right? Man City are not an untouchable team. Today, I was very disappointed with Forest because they were scared, right? I was watching that game and the occasion got the better of them, bro. Right?
Imagine.
Nuno, hold on, Lewis. And Nuno fucked up as well because he brought on Elanga. Elanga scores that goal, that changes the game completely.
Yeah.
Right? He scores that goal, it's 1-1, things change. But that second goal, it ripped them off. I even fell asleep.
Gibbs White, man. Gibbs White as well.
Yeah, Gibbs White as well.
Forest had about 4 chances that second half.
I'm telling you, bro. So with Palace, yeah, they've got. If they come there with more grit, more heart, bro, they've got Mateta, they've got guys like Eze that can finish chances. Yeah, and then again, they've got some good players in the team like Walton and that. Defensively, they're not a bad team either. They've got every shot of beating Man City, bro. Every shot of beating them.
Okay, but you know what we need to talk about? Do you know what we need to talk about? And I really wanted to talk about this to Dees, but I'll be interested in what you think about this, Rich. Because I think what we need to realize that if Palace do win this final, they could have a negative drawback on that, in the fact that there's a good chance they could lose Oliver Glasner. That could happen. He could get poached up.
It could happen if we don't.
If he wins, Spurs take him, and he leaves a legend.
What? Listen, the last thing you want to do, I know he's performed a miracle by winning Palace their first trophy, but lightning don't strike twice, and you know what I mean. Like, don't think he's going to go to Spurs and replicate that. It's not happening.
No, bro. Let me tell you about.
And you might win if you win the Europa League, John Deji. You're keeping Ange, so relax yourself.
Lawless, let me. First and foremost, I'm struggling to accept anything that you're saying. You're currently on your new manager bounce, and you're bouncing. You're not even bouncing, bro. You're a flat ball. You're a flat tire. So I'm just yeah. Now, as for me, we've not had our new manager bounce yet. Glasner did a crikey job at Frankfurt. And he's going to come to my club and do the same thing, but with a Europa League behind his back. You know, bro, that your new manager bounce with a flat tire, bro. You already know. Like, come on.
Wait, you think you're winning the Europa League and sacking Ange, who would be your greatest flipping manager in your life?
It's called standards, bro, and Don would know about it.
Okay, but Spurs don't know about it. What does Spurs know about standards?
What have you not learned, Lawless, about me? I've been telling you about how my club operates, and people have been trying to poo-poo it down. Imagine, Rich, people have been trying to tell me the logical thing for Spurs is to win the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, so on and so forth. We would leapfrog both those trophies by winning the Europa League, something that I've been telling these brothers from the beginning of the season. So hold that, my guy. And we will be getting rid of him because 20 plus L's this season is what we're about to receive. One of the dustiest season in Spurs history. So once he's gone, we're going to get rid, bro. Thank you for the trophy. You do win in your second season, but that's about it. And we'll bring in a Glasner real quick. And I think Glasner, if he wins the FA Cup, I think Palace fans, and Rich, I know you're a baller and you're not like D who's delusional. The truth of the matter is, you'd be happy for him. He's giving you something to fight for. He's giving you an FA trophy. You'd be like, well done, mate. You deserve the big job, rather than let him stay here with no money and Sainsbury's. He's got bigger ambitions than that, and that's not a disparaging comment. I'm just saying that there's no way.
Don't listen to him, Rich. Don't have it. Don't
come on. Oliver Glasner, in all fairness, if he does so happen to win us the trophy, I think he would want to have a stint in Europe. Why not? We'll get Europa League football, so why not? The year after that, I think he'll be gone. He'll probably end up going back to Germany, though, because family's there. I know RB's Leipzig's been wanting him. I'm actually worried about Leverkusen because I'm expecting Xabi Alonso to go to Real Madrid.
And he plays the same formation as well.
And it's the same formation. Yeah. So that's the one I'm worried about this year, is Leverkusen.
But would you be happy for him if he went to Spurs?
No.
If we've won the FA Cup, no. Because he might as well take us into Europe.
I mean, even if you don't, like, it's still it's and
Yeah,
the Spurs,
yeah, but the thing is, actually, but then Levy
it's a
don't spend
sideways
either, does
step
he?
if they don't have
Yeah.
Champions League.
Because I mean, Parish he's held this guy back seriously. Like he's worked miracles with us. With literally next to nothing budget. You know, obviously, Des, you'll know more about Levy and whether or not he actually spends.
He spends. He just spends in the wrong place.
Fair enough. So if Glasner comes in, he might actually buy the proper players that you need. But I don't see him going Spurs, to be honest. And that's not to say that we're a better club than Spurs. No, what I'm just saying is just I think he's happy with the project he's got now. And if he can achieve success with us, I think he want to stay.
I think, Rich, oh, go ahead, Dan. I was going to say, no, I kind of I disagree, and I know that there's a lot of fans that do this thing, which is that because you've done something. Look, bro, he's overachieved with that squad. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's something about bailout whilst you're at the top. It would be foolish of him to try to do European football and mount and survive in the Prem. I think if we're being real, bro, if he was to mount a European charge, you could be facing a relegation battle, or you could be back in the Championship. I think bailout at the top. Look, you want to be one of the big ones, and rightly so. But I think you've already got your replacement for him already lined up.
Who do you reckon that is?
Someone we've never heard of.
All right.
But wouldn't that manager still have the same problem Glasner will have of dealing with Europe and Premier League football?
He would, but the problem is, if Glasner does a crap job of balancing Europe and the league, his stock will diminish. So that opportunity, that window that he has for a big six, if you're in a relegation dogfight, bruv, no big six team is coming for him when you've struggled all season. And his stock has plummeted, bruv. He's worthless. I don't think he can manage in the Prem again with the dustiness that he's put at my club. Whereas Iriola's stock has gone up. So I'm just saying, given where you are, it would be wise for him to leave. But if he's got a good heart and he wants to stay at your club, I would say to Glasner, you know, you brought this on yourself and perish. But at the same time, if he's able to juggle both, then he's
Let me ask this question then. Why would it lawless? Why would it not be wise for Glasner to leave Palace to go to Spurs?
I don't think it'd be wise for Glasner. I don't think it'd be wise for Iraola, because we've seen the circus that Spurs is. We've seen the turnover of managers that they've had. Do you know what I mean? We've seen how Daniel Levy operates. They're not a serious club. They had a purple patch where they had some good players come through the academy, had some good players, had that hangover, you know, the Harry Kanes and all of that. They managed to put together a good squad for one period of time, and they still didn't win anything, right? They had that good moment. And then ever since then, they've been chopping, changing managers, trying to get back to what they were under Poch, and they've got nowhere near. And they're going backwards and backwards and backwards. And they think if they just get a Glasner, if they just get an Iraola, it's gonna fucking magically wave the wand and just transform them into a serious team. They are so far off it. It is unbelievable. To me, if I'm Chelsea, I go for Glasner. I'd be, especially if Maresca don't get Champions League, bin him, get Glasner. If they're serious, because that's what Roman would do. Abramovich would do that. So we'll see what they're going to do.
Interesting, man. Look, Rich, just lastly, man, what are you saying about this final? What are you saying about the players you've got in this game yesterday? I thought Eze was unreal yesterday. Mateta, obviously. You've got players like Wharton. I think Gehi and Lacroix have been very, very good. Big fan of what Palace have done. Obviously, played you the other day, and I thought you walked away with a very deserved point. I thought we were pretty and we're gifting you goals. But having said that, I thought you were very good. What are you saying about this Palace side, and can they do the unthinkable and finally win a trophy for your club, bro?
Yeah, just going back to yesterday, I mean, it was incredible from start to finish, to be honest. Obviously, what had helped is Emery decided again that he doesn't want to use width. So we were like, thanks. Played very narrow, and that allowed Wharton. And I want to give a massive shout out to Daichi Kamada, because I thought he had an outstanding game yesterday. And he did have a good game against Arsenal as well. So, and I think with Wharton and Kamada, as much as we may not have a destroyer in there, I tell you what, they moved the ball quick. They really moved the ball quick. And obviously our front three has been phenomenal all season, And the funny thing is it ended 3-0. It could have been 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Mitchell, air shot. Sarr, 2 headers. Mateta, missed penalty. And Mateta had a goal disallowed beforehand, which weren't even a foul. Honestly, we were sensational. Obviously, looking at this City game, I mean, for football purposes, I wanted Forest to win. I just wanted a new winner, City, you're hearing the fans like, oh, we have to go to Wembley again. I think they're bored of it, and so it would have been, like I said, good to have a new team winning it. Obviously, they're favourites. I'm hearing that Rodri and Haaland will be back, which doesn't help our cause whatsoever. But we've just got to make sure that when we do play on the break, we're relentless and we defend a lot better than we did a couple of weeks back. Granted, Mark Gay, he's back in that defence as well, and not Jefferson Lerma, so that would help. I told Glasner, listen, rest all the boys for the rest of the season. We don't need any injuries, because this is going to be, I don't know the next time we're going to make a final, so we've got to make the most of it.
Look, I hope you do it, man. I do. I don't want Man City to win it. But D, it will be, I know he's watching, it will be absolutely horrendous. I will just have to, as Lawless says, I'll have to either block him or just mute his chats or something for a while. That's all it'll be. But I will say this, I do think Manchester City will win the FA Cup. I hope I'm wrong, but I do think Man City will just have enough. They've got a couple of players that City have got at the moment. That Marmouche is a problem.
He's unbelievable.
He is a problem, man. Very good player. One that, again, in January, I wanted, and everyone said there's no one available in January. Even though Kvaratskhelia and Marmouche were both available, I would have taken both of them at Arsenal, but there we go. Anyway, that's in the.
By the way, Potts, why does it look like you're wearing a Spurs shirt? What's that about? Why have Arsenal released the Spurs shirt? What's going on?
Man, this is a long time ago. This is the Say No More to Red shirt, isn't it?
Yeah, but they can never win it, man. They can never win in that kit.
No, it's the cursed shirt. It actually is. We can't win a game in this. I think we've only beaten Oxford in it.
And you was like, yeah, let me slap down 60 quid on that one.
Nah, man, I don't pay 60.
I remember when you lost to Forest in that kit as well, man.
Yeah, we lost to Forest, we lost to Liverpool, and we lost to United as well. We do quite well in this kit.
That's like Liverpool bringing out like a dark blue kit, or Everton bringing out a Liverpool kit, like a red kit. Like,
yeah, we had a white kit. We had a white away shirt once. I think it was 2008. We had a white.
It's for the knife crime, bro.
Yeah, you know why?
Okay. Knife crime.
Let's copy Spurs. It's supposed to be for a good.
Thanks for doing your bit for knife crime, Potts. Thanks.
There you go. Well, I did my bit. They're doing the bit. The club. It's supposed to be for a good cause, man. Crikey.
Good cause.
Don't worry, we'll come to your dusty club in a minute. Don't worry about it. Let's come through these super chats.
People are gonna have their knife. They're gonna see Potts walking around the street with a white fucking shirt on and go, "Oh no, shit! Oh, fuck, I better."
You can tell Lawless is really upset about this. This is his football club doing this to him. Do you know what I mean? This is his football club doing this to him.
Making a point.
Getting him all upset. Jack says, Don and Deji, you must be related. Big up rest of the panel. Oh, both frauds. Big up the rest of the panel. Big up Shaq. Big Dog.
Yes.
Big Dog says, I get Spurs are shit, but I can't comprehend how shit Ange is. The squad ain't great, but it's not relegation material still. I love to see it. And God AEM says, as a Liverpool fan, I hope that Palace beat Man City. Congratulations to Liverpool today as well. We'll come on to that next. Chaitanya says, big up to the women's team. Go and win it now. Yeah, Arsenal versus Barcelona in the women's as well. Arsenal turned it around today. Well done against Lyon. 5-3 on aggregate. Well done to the girls.
Arsenal, both genders losing a final against Barcelona. It's kind of written, isn't it? It's kind
we've got to get there first, man. We got to get there
first. But I'm just saying that the story Do you know what I mean? Like both sides.
Has anyone noticed this chest of Lawless today? Why is he so?
Yeah, listen, just keep quiet. Stop jinxing things, man. Because you're telling me about Chelsea's sketchy record against Everton or some shit the other day, and I did another win yesterday. That's 22 wins.
Well done, Don. Well done.
22 wins now.
Out of curiosity, Lawless, did you say that we were going to lose as well by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did.
All right. Please make sure you do a public announcement saying we're losing to Man City. I think you're of good omen.
Right. Palace are going to win the FA Cup. Arsenal are going to win the Champions League.
And Spurs will win the Europa.
Yes, Spurs will win the Europa too. Let's put that out there. And Chelsea will get get Champions League. Okay.
And win the conference.
And the conference. They're going to win the conference too. Right.
Look, let's talk quickly on Spurs because Liverpool, like, fair play, congratulations, Premier League champions. I don't know why people are making a huge deal out of it because I think it was weeks ago we knew it, but fair play. They've had it announced now and they've celebrated it. But my God, Tottenham Hotspur are absolute mess. My God, if I was to pick a team to try and do something, I would not go anywhere near that team. Let me just tell you that they are absolutely Orange Postecoglou. Let me not come to Deji first. Let me come to you, Don, because you and I can, well, to be fair, Lawless, can all agree on something. We can't stand this club. They are an absolute mess. And my God, this has to be the worst I've ever seen. Only the three relegated sides have lost more games than this team. They are absolutely dusted. What the hell is going on with Tottenham Hotspur, Don?
Well, I told you already, bro. We started this downfall of Ange. You know what I mean? Ever since they got battered by us last year with Jackson, the worst hat trick I've seen. It's been a downward slope ever since then. You know what I mean? And Deji, I told this guy in the summer, right? He was talking, yeah, we're gonna finish above Chelsea, man. My squad's better than yours. I was happy to bet this guy in the summer. I said, bro, there's no way you're finishing above me. Yeah. And I didn't even go get to the end of the window to know this, right? So you, my friend, you already owe me that £100. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's mathematically impossible for you to go past me. You know what I mean? I'm watching Spurs right now. The players don't look interested. You know what I mean? They're constantly trying to play out the back in every single situation. Like even the goal that McAllister scored, that's just some basic shit, bro. Yeah, man just gave the ball straight back to him. Who was it? Tell, innit? It was Tell. Just gives us the ball straight back to them. And I've seen that in a lot of games, right? So I think they need to end this relationship quickly with Ange, innit? I think, he's got a massive problem with the fans right now. I see, man, cupping his ears at the bridge and talking about have some fucking respect, mate. You know what I mean? To fans and that. You know what I'm saying? That. So, bro, I think it's done, innit? Let him have his little Europa. Don't change things now. You've gone this far in anyway. But I think it's time for a change. I don't know if there's anything new that we can really say about Spurs. I think the newest thing right now is they definitely need a new manager. And I saw Matt Law. Matt Law said he's gone regardless. He's gone regardless of what happened. So I reckon they'll probably get a new manager. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Spurs, man. I think it's just absolute shit show. Yeah. A lot of it is down to
that, John, is the manager. Do you know what? And I've been saying this so much. You know what I'm so fucking tired of in football is manager. Players get away with fucking murder.
I just told you. The players, yeah.
Name them and shame them. You want to say Ange, you want to say it's fucking disgraceful, mate. It's fucking not on, mate. Fucking let's hear some impressions of some of these dead players they've got. Because you make it sound as if Spurs have a good team.
No. Okay,
someone else will come in.
That's Spurs team.
You're right. Let me give you a few examples. Yeah, you've got the likes of Vicario. Yeah. Vicario right now, bro, I don't know what's going on with this guy. Like, I don't remember him being this bad. Since he's come back, Deji, like, I watched him the other day looking bare shaky. Today, looking a bit suspect.
He's rubbish.
What's happened there, bro?
Vicario's been rubbish, bro. Like, I mean, I won't interrupt, but I coined him when we first brought him in. I said vicarious liability, and true to form, he really is that guy.
Kinski, whatever my man's name, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I can speak, I mean, for me, what I'm seeing at my club this season is absolute disgrace. that game at Liverpool, by the way, I said on my watch along that I might as well be the nail. We're gonna party hard. We were celebrating with them as the goals were going in. We were celebrating with Liverpool because we knew we were going to get a thumping. We've conceded 15 goals to Liverpool in one season, by the way. The truth of the matter is, Postecoglou has no clue. Whoever came up with that is one of the smartest people I've ever seen or heard from in my life. And we knew, you're right, Tottenham's kind of run or love affair with Postecoglou ended the Chelsea game. I actually thought we were brave and it was a valiant effort. How wrong and how dumb was I at the time? The brother has gradually, our form has dipped. We've lost 19 games, soon to be 20. And I'm the only Spurs fan, by the way, who predicted in November, the beginning of November, that Spurs could lose 18, 19 games under this brother after the Brighton/Crystal Palace game. Postecoglou is good for lower league football. League One, other leagues that there isn't much competition, but he's definitely not a Premier League manager. It is the players. Those players under a half-decent manager will probably be top 8, top 9. Maybe not Champions League, but definitely top 8, top 9. I'm seeing lesser teams like Wolves who are doing a lot better than us, bro. And I think even if he wins the Europa League, what we say is, thank you, mate. Thank you for winning the trophy in your second season, as you said. And also see you, mate. Because if Tottenham do the dumb thing of allowing this brother to stay in charge, we are getting relegated. And for me, I have standards. If you don't have 40 points, no, but I'm saying, Dan, if you don't reach 40 points in the season, you should get relegated. Like, Tottenham should get relegated, in my opinion, because we're not going to get 40 points. I don't see who we're going to get points off in the next 4 games. And I knew we were only picking up points against Southampton and we were going to get muddied by every other team. But the final thing that I wanted to say is that Postecoglou has ruined this club. There's a lot of Spurs fans who were online telling other Spurs fans, hold that, hold that. For every one win, it's hold that, hold that. The truth of the matter is, I come to the conclusion, he lost the dressing room long time. He lost the dressing room in 2024. What these players are doing is they're playing for themselves. Pause. They are playing to win the Europa League for their own pride. They are not playing for this manager. That was a pathetic performance today against Liverpool. Imagine you've got a semi-final game. You need the game to go at them. Even if you lose 2-1, 3-1, go at them so you can get some momentum, so you can have some confidence that maybe your style of play, maybe you've missed chances, but we can see that you can do something. They went out there and got batted up. What confidence can I take into a semi-final against Bodo Glimt? Nothing. We learned nothing from that game. Absolutely nothing. I hope his gamble where he sticks all his eggs in one basket, I hope it pays off. And I will do the noble thing. I've talked about ignoring this guy if I was in a lift with him. I will shake his hand and say, you know what? Thanks, mate, and be gone. But he's finished up. And let me tell you now, for all the Red Tottenham fans in the chat who don't like your manager, I would happily take Arteta over this brother. Like, happily. I would rather Arteta be in charge of my club than see Ange take another game. It's that poor. And for that, I can't forgive him for this disastrous season. I can't.
Wow, is that bad, man? Is that bad? Lawless.
Deji, do you finish above West Ham?
Yes.
Well,
that was
it.
I mean, they're pony anyway.
Do you know what? How Spursy would it be? Like, so as if it wasn't Spursy enough to sack one of the most winningest managers in football before a final, you go and sack the first manager to win you a trophy. Like, that is Spursy. You guys, no, we don't do that here.
This season is more Spursy than that, mate. So, Lawless, this season's even more Spursy. So, Spurs have the real. We will probably, I reckon we could even have more defeats than Ipswich come end of the season and still be safe. I also think that we're going to be 17th with a plus goal difference, by the way, which is mad. You can't be 17th with a plus goal difference. And the Spursy thing would be, despite all of that, we end up winning the Europa League. There is no way. Like, we know what is round the corner. And he cannot turn it. He's not a Glasner. I always said this. No matter how crap the manager is, you should see an improvement. We saw an improvement with Iriola with Bournemouth. Gradually improved. We've seen Unai gradually improve. You can argue Villa have had a stagnated season. Getting to a quarter-final of the Champions League is not to be poo-pooed, in my opinion. So I would say that they've plateaued. Maresca, we'll soon see, but I think he's going to be falling backwards. But generally, and Graham Potter hasn't been given any time yet. So we will know if Graham Potter is the fraud that we know him to be literally by the beginning of next season. But this brother has literally gone from 5th to 17th. That is a drop and a half. That's Titanic levels, bro. That is an anchor at your ankles, sending you to the bottom of the ocean. So for me, he's just not good enough. He's a fraud.
You know, Potts made a really great point before we started streaming, before we went live. And it made me realize, the fact that if you win this competition, you cannot shake your bum, as you like to say, Dej. You cannot get happy, you cannot get excited, because this is the dustiest Europa League in the history of Europa Leagues. And because Potts reminded me that this year is the first year where Champions League teams do not drop down into the Europa League. And do you realize you've had an easier run in this Europa League than we did in the Conference League? Can I have the right to rebut? Can I have a right to rebut? I don't think there's anything you could say.
So first and foremost, one of the most no, let me just say this. So first and foremost, nobody, unless you're a champion, should be playing Champions League football. So I want you to know the school of where I'm from. I'm from the school of hard knocks. Now, in relation to that dusty comment from you, mate, nobody in European football should be given a second chance. Teams weren't dropping from the Europa League into Europa Conference League. At least I don't remember that happening. So why should a team drop from the Champions League into the Europa League? That doesn't make sense. I get it, and I hear you, Lawless, that you say this is probably the weakest Europa League. But I would say Europe is weak as a whole. I think Europe is dusty. And what we might find is that it could be a London thing, literally, this season, where the Red Tottenham win the champs, we win the Europa, and Chelsea win the Europa Conference League in order of our strengths currently, may I add. And I would like to say one more thing. I coined the phrase spicy Spurs. Dan likes that comment. And really, what we achieve at the end of this, bruv, is what we've always wanted this season. Arsenal win the Champions League, they get another Champions League spot. We win the Europa League, and guess what? We get a Champions League spot. And the season's not as dusty as it would have been had we not got a Champions League spot. So my point being, mate, is you can poo-poo over the Europa League all day long. You won the Europa Conference League, a competition we gladly removed ourselves from. And all I can say to you is hold that. And all I can say to Chelsea is shame on them for wanting to win one of the dustiest competitions I've ever seen in my life.
There's a Spursy for you. How dare you want to win a competition you're in? How dare you? That's a shame on you for wanting to win a competition that you are in. That is a disgrace.
Have levels.
Have levels, yeah. Okay, have levels. Like you are basically in Europa Conference League Plus. That's what the Europa League is this season, yeah.
I don't think so. No, it's not Europa Conference League. We're basically in minus Champions League. Hold that.
No.
Can you rank? Can we just quickly, Dan, if you don't mind, can we just rank the trophies? All of them.
Go on then. You rank them first.
Shall I rank them? Yeah. Champions League, Premier League are on par at the top. Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Europa Conference League.
The Carabao Cup isn't above the Conference League. I'll tell you why. Because if you win the Carabao Cup, guess what competition you qualify for? The Conference League.
It's not about qualifying for competitions. It's about the level. It's about the level of dust. It's the level of dust.
It is. You qualify Your reward for winning the Carabao Cup is to play in the Conference League.
Lawless,
Yeah?
Remind the people who you played to play there, Lawless. To get there, sorry. Who did you play?
Yeah. What do you mean? Who did we
Who
play?
did you beat? Who did you play to win
Fiorentina. The
No,
team that
I know that. I'm saying what teams did you play going up to the final, bro?
Larnaca.
AZ. We played AZ, who Spurs struggled against.
You played AZ, yeah.
Yeah, AZ. Larnaca. We did play Larnaca.
Yeah.
We played. We played Bucharest. I think Anderlecht. Yeah, I think we played Anderlecht, Bucharest. Yeah, so we played, and Bucharest have a Champions League in their history, so they have a European Cup. So we played some teams with some heritage, mate. So yeah, like let's look it out. And like I said, the reward for winning the League Cup is to play in the Conference League. The reward for winning the Conference League is to play in the Europa League. So that's how we structure it. The FA Cup, you win that, will you play in the Europa League?
I wouldn't even structure it like that. I say look at the quality of team. I think.
Yeah, but we just established that we played Bodo Glimt.
Don is about to play a team ranked 12th in the Swedish league. Hold that. Like, you can't compare that to a Bournemouth. You can't compare that team to a Brighton, bro. Like, let's.
Yeah, but you're playing Bodo Glimt in the Europa League.
I've got it. So West Ham played Anderlecht, Silkeborg, FCSB, which is Bucharest, Larnaca, from I don't know where the hell that's from.
Cyprus.
Ghent in Belgium.
Yeah.
Not Genk, Ghent. AZ, Alkmaar, and then they beat Fiorentina.
Yeah, and we didn't lose a single. We didn't lose a single game. We won nearly all of them. Okay, but who are you playing? Who are you?
Wow.
Let's look at what Spurs is run. Who have you played?
Brentford trumps all those teams, bro. On their own.
Okay, yeah, we've won Frankfurt. Fiorentina is still a serious team.
Fiorentina hasn't been serious since Gabriel Batistuta.
Well, let's see how they do against Chelsea. If Chelsea get it, then.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm just saying, all right, sit down, Bodo Glimt. Yeah.
Hey, are you beating Bodo Glimt, Deji?
Yeah, you're gonna beat Bodo Glimt. Glimt.
Look, and I mean this in the I'm not knocking Bodo Glimt. They've got 8,000 capacity crowd, so it's smaller than one side of my stadium. Look, we should bang them. Like legitly, we should bang Bodo. I think we've got them at home first leg. I'm expecting a 3 or 4-0 walloping. And that does show that how low the competition is this season if you're winning 3 or 4-0 in your first leg in the semi-final. My main concern, I have to be honest with you, is who we've got in the final. Respectfully, we've got two conundrums. Athletic Bilbao could be playing at home. That's mad. Or we're playing one of the dustiest teams I've ever seen in my life in Piccadilly, Manchester Piccadilly. Now, the problem is we've already beaten United 3 times this season. Can I genuinely see Spurs winning a 4th time against United? I don't see it. And it would be United to be so dusty and at the last hour win a trophy over my club, over my dead body. So for me, I am making a heart cry on this channel. I am pleading to footballing gods out there. I want a Spurs Athletic Bilbao final, and I take my chances after that.
Okay, interesting, very interesting. I think Man United will stink the Europa League, and I think they're dreadful, by the way, absolutely dreadful. But I think they'll stink it like it's crazy. Let's before we come to West Ham, let's talk on Chelsea. Does anyone want to say anything on Chelsea before Don comes in? Because if I'm honest with you, I don't know. Lawless probably will actually. Go on, bro.
Yeah, man. You got a lot to say, man. In fact, start with a fucking apology, mate. Yeah. How about you start with a fucking apology first, mate? Yeah. Apologize first before you even say anything in your monologue. You're gonna go on a long monologue right now. So apologize first because you know what you said.
Listen, I don't do long monologue. I'm not like you, Don.
Tell the people what you said first.
Listen, well done, like Don. You got in half spaces and all of that shit, and you fucking occupied the half spaces all day. fucking half spaced them to death. Like, so yeah, congrats. Like, but at the end of the day, John, you are like the way you are gloating over this fucking Everton. That is that you are starving, mate. You are starving for something. Standards on the floor. You scrape a 1-0 win over Everton, yeah, who haven't won a game in a while, yeah. So we go into this. I never said on Friday, yeah, Everton are going to beat Chelsea. I never said there's no chance. What I said is when we looked at the game, I was breaking it down and saying, okay, this ain't a straight up like win. Do you know what I mean? This ain't a cut and dry because your record against Everton is sketchy. And then when we looked at it, it was. So
it wasn't though. We haven't lost to them at the bridge, bro.
Yeah, but Don.
We haven't lost to them. This record goes all the way from them. Hold on, Potts. This record he talks about, yeah, has 0 losses at the bridge since the 90s, bro. Yeah, 0 losses, bro. Only Tottenham's record against us comes close, right?
Yeah, but we were talking in general, and we're talking in recent times, yeah. Because we're talking about. I never said you was losing. You need to win, and there's a lot of draws in there, yeah. So when we looked at it, a draw is not good enough for you, Don. Right? So you can sit there and go, "We haven't lost." If you would have drew that game, would you sit there? We didn't lose. It's fine. Look, because we didn't lose.
I told you Chelsea are unpredictable, right? And the past 2 weeks has proven that, right? Not even 2 weeks. The past 3 weeks has proven that. Because against Ipswich, we had way more chances than what we had last week. We had way more chances than what we had yesterday. But guess what? We were clinical, bruv. Yeah? Last week, Tyree George gets a chance. Bam, it goes in. Yeah? Neto gets a chance. Boom, it goes in. This time round, Jackson gets a chance. Bang, it goes in. Yeah? That's what I'm telling you, bro. This team right now has not been clinical in front of goal. We should have won a lot more games over this period. We're not scrambling around like this. Yeah? It's so weird right now looking at Jackson. You know I've been cooking Jackson. That finish yesterday, I don't know if you lot have seen it, yeah? Potts, have you fucking seen it? Because you don't seem to watch Chelsea games, bro. Yeah?
Yeah, I see the goal. Yeah, I see the goal.
That was what you call a proper finish. And I don't even know if he would have shot there if Tyree George didn't score last week, right? Usually Jackson would dilly-dally on it. He would slip on it. He will kick it, roll Z. But yesterday, bro, very good finish. I thought in the first half, we were all over these guys, right? I got to give props to Sanchez as well because I'm seeing a lot of people right now saying, oh, Sanchez, if it wasn't for Sanchez, you lose that game. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's what he's there for, bro. He's our keeper. He's meant to save these shots.
It was a great save, though, for real.
Both of them. Yeah, Beto and the second one. Because if he didn't save those, people will be like, oh, my God, how has he not saved that? He done his job. You know, the cross collection from him, he was brilliant. And he's someone that I still want out of the club. But I've got to be able to give a man prop in isolation, right? Yep. Cucurella, Colwill, Chalobah. I thought Chalobah was class in this game, bro. Back to front. On the ball, he was brilliant. Defensively, he was brilliant. You had Caicedo inverting from right back as well to actually start Lavia and Caicedo. That's how you give Enzo Fernandez a little bit more stability. That's literally how we played against Aston Villa.
You need Lavia, man. You need Lavia to stay fit, bro.
Bro, this is what I'm saying, bro. Lavia is so key to what we want to do. Because if you watch the game, Potts, yeah, in terms of how we were counter-pressing Everton to get the ball, bro, these guys couldn't breathe. It reminded me so much of what I was seeing in the first half of the season when we was winning a lot of games, when we were winning 5 games in a row and shit, right? Similar sort of thing happened against Tottenham. Lavia started that game. All the drop balls that were coming into the midfield, man sweeping it up. If you remember that game, Deji, yeah, we was losing 2-0, but, bro, Lavia was our best player in that first half, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah? So we need, you know, there's certain profiles in this team that Maresca hasn't really had the joy of having this season, like Fofana, like Lavia, right? And that's when people are like, oh, just sat this guy. I'm like, bro, when I saw this guy at his best, he had these players, right? And that's where in the summer, we need to make sure that he has these profiles consistently so we can see the best of him, right? Every manager, bro, is going to struggle if you take certain man out of their system. It just won't work as well. You know what I mean? So that's not to say that, you know, Maresca hasn't had enough to win more games. He definitely has. But I'm just saying the best of Chelsea is when we've got Lavia and Fofana fit and these sort of guys because they help us so much defensively, right? Help the likes of Enzo Fernandez to stay up. You've seen Palmer yesterday. A lot of people were saying start him on the right half space. That's where he's best. And I agree with that as well. But yesterday he was in the right half space. Yeah, half space is lawless. And it was similar. It was a similar sort of performance, right? I'm seeing.
Are you getting it, Don? Are you getting it? Are you getting top 5?
We don't want to hear all this waffle, Don. Just so
bro, if Jackson keeps firing and Palmer turns up, we can definitely get it.
Do you think they will, Don?
I listen. Right now, I don't know. I don't know, Lawless. Like I said to you in the terrace, I don't know, bro. Right?
Do you know what? I know. I know you're not getting top 5.
Hold on,
I know.
Hold on,
I
Lawless.
know.
The past two games, they've proven me wrong. I thought we was gonna draw against Fulham. They proved me wrong. I thought we were gonna draw against Everton when I actually did my prediction. I said 1-1, right? They proved me wrong. So they need to keep proving me wrong because I've not been seeing good finishing for months, bro. For months.
Deji, just quickly on Chelsea before we move to West Ham and close. What are you saying? Are they getting top 5, Deji?
No, they're not. I think what they're doing is they're flattering to deceive us at the moment. I feel like they've left it a little bit too late. Yes, they're currently in the top 4, but their run of games is the toughest run of games out of all of the teams in the top 7, top 8. I think Chelsea just miss out. I think, good result against. It's just my mind, but good result. But I think now, Don, is when we'll know if you men are really legit with the run of games you've got left. And I think you just. I don't think Maresca. I think he's a fraud. I won't lie. I think he's not good enough for your club. I don't care about your club. I don't think he's good enough. And I think it will be proven when you guys don't get Champions League football this season.
Yeah, look, I've got to be honest. I don't think Chelsea will get it, but nothing will shock me in this Premier League because we've seen it before. But if I had to put it now, I think they'll miss out. I do. I think
what
Chelsea.
What we've got to do to get it right, because me, bro, I don't care about finishing 3rd, 2nd, 4th, bro. You get the same thing, right? I just want to get top 5, right? And now, the main thing I'm looking at is to finish above Forest and finish above Villa. If we finish above those two, that means we're getting top 5.
Right? But you know, top 5 isn't good.
What do you mean?
Because the plan was top 4.
Yeah, top 4 was the plan, but
had we not
changed. Thank you, they've changed that, bro.
But imagine the disgrace and the embarrassment it would be that we had an extension of a Champions League spot this season and you still didn't get it. That for me,
exactly. I can't go into the summer listening to Poch finished above him. Poch got more points than him. Poch was better than him. Because right now, bro, we're 3 points. We're 3 points less than the 3 points.
It'll be quite funny though. Will be quite funny though.
It'll be fucking jarring because people will start to do revisionism on this clown, right? Where last season we finished on 63 points. We're now on 60. So all we need is a win to match that record, right? We've got Newcastle, which for me is a 6-pointer, and we've got Forest the last day of the season, bro. Right? We win those games. Which listen, St. James's Park, we don't like that stadium. Cool, fair enough. And Newcastle on good form right now, right? Forest, funny enough, we played them last game of the season. I think it was last year, and we won that game. And by then, hopefully, they would have dropped out of it a little bit. You know, we've still got Man United. You know how bad these guys are at home, right? And then obviously we've got Liverpool as well at the Bridge next. So let's hope that Liverpool are going to be drunk at the weekend. You know what I mean? Because last season, bro, we played them first game on the Bridge. We nearly beat them that game. This year went to Anfield. Slot came out after the game saying,
"You got Man United as well, Don."
We've got Man United at the Bridge as well. Yeah, bro. We've got Man United. We've got Newcastle.
They've got a messy run, you know. Chelsea
what it is, Pops, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, we just can't lose any more games, bro. We can't lose. We've got to get at least 2 more wins, and one of them definitely has to be against Forest, right? And we must try and make sure we beat Newcastle. We beat Newcastle. We're like a leg in, bro, a foot in. You know what I mean?
Interesting, man. Look, to close the show, we might as well have a bit of a laugh. Not that I want to put Lawless through too much pain, bless him. But there's a few super chats that I'll do before we do that. One of them comes from AMT. He says, "How the hell did West Ham lose a 2-1 lead in injury time, lose the game, and are now 17th? Plus 2 goals scored by a defender." And he also says McTominay has scored for Napoli, who, by the way, look like they're going to win the league under Conte, which would be quite funny for Chelsea and Spurs fans again to be sitting there. We're still winning trophies. A washed manager, apparently, that I was told was washed. Anyway, that's another story.
You know, there's been 5 managers that have won the Prem in their first season. 3 of them are Chelsea managers, bro. Slots
now number 5. Wow, that's mad.
Yeah.
You know? That's mad.
Ancelotti, Conte, and Mourinho. They all won it in their first year, bro.
That's crazy, you know.
And you've got Pellegrini. Pellegrini's the other one. So 4, you've got 3 Italians in that. Yeah, you've got 3 Italians.
Yeah, that's true, man. No, I always thought Conte. I know Conte went Spurs, but Conte was his class, man. Let's not talk about that. Let's just laugh at how bad West Ham are, please, because my goodness, Deji, I'll come to you first because wow, you said that they've got a new manager bounce and their ball is flat and it won't bounce. Let's be real. This is probably one of the worst West Ham seasons I've seen in a long time. For someone as a West Ham fan as Lawless who predicted them to get into the top 6 or top 5, they're now 17th. And I'm honest with you, if it wasn't for the 3 teams being so dusty, they probably would get relegated. And if I'm honest with you, probably deserve to get relegated this season with how bad they've been. I don't think they appreciated what they had under David Moyes, and I've said that for quite some time. But Lawless just does that and yawns, which I find very disrespectful to what David Moyes has done at West Ham, if I'm honest. So I think fans like Lawless deserve this, and I hope they're happy because they asked for him to be sacked and removed from his position. Now they're sat in 17th with Graham Potter, who looks really dusty, in my opinion. And the team, other than Jared Bowen, looks an absolute disgrace. I mean, how they have predicted they could get 6th or 5th was actually nothing short of coming out of a loony bin, in my opinion. So there we go. That's my opinion. What about yourself, Dej?
Deji, before you go, just have self-awareness. Whatever you're going to say, say it with self-awareness about Tottenham.
That's cool. No, I've got a couple of minutes. I have to run. But the first thing is, there was a number. Look, part of this show is we do a bit of banter. Sometimes we're preparing people for the future. And Lawless, sometimes when I debate with Lawless, I'm trying to speak facts to him, and he's trying to tuck it in my face. I warned you that this West Ham team was one of the dustiest teams I've ever seen in my life. I told you about Lopetegui, but you wanted to poo-poo it and show it in my face. The only reason why I'm speaking so humbly is because Spurs have been dusty. But you have to accept this is by far one of the worst West Ham teams we've ever seen. Now, this whole thing with, and that's with some decent players, may I add. But I agree with Dan that I think what happened was you ran away with yourselves. You got carried away. Moyes was the best thing to happen to West Ham. You won a trophy under him. Yes, the football was dusty, but let's not become goldfishes. And I don't like goldfish fans. You all of a sudden, you want to go from eating fast food to eating at the Dorchester. It doesn't just happen overnight, mate. You want all caviar and all this fancy stuff. The truth of the matter is, you're not. West Ham is not built for flair players.
There goes that self-awareness, by the way.
They were just brute forces, henchmen, 6'7", brute forces there to head balls into the back of the net. As soon as you moved away from that ethos, is why you're in the mud. And Lawless, I'm not gonna lie. I think if you want me to help you, that channel that we recommended a few months back, your new YouTube channel called Sense and Sensibility. Well, it's up, mate, by the end of the week. We need to bring some sense to your channel, bro, because I don't know what you must be talking about in terms of West Ham. West Ham, like this person has said, has no identity. There is nothing. You're not West Ham. You're not East Ham. You're not North Ham. We don't know who you are, bruv. And what I would even say is, where is my West Ham? West Ham used to be a team that everybody feared. Not because you were good, but you could have a moment where you just do a madness. We know now, in my accumulator, I put West Ham to lose. I was shocked to see you winning 2-1 in thing, and it was an accumulator buster, only for you to confirm that West Ham did lose. I mean, brilliant. It's brilliant for the odds. It's brilliant for people who like to have a flutter. They're guaranteed to lose week in, week out. So, Lawless, my friend, I want you to hold that, and I want you to look in the mirror and say, you know what? Bring back Moyes. If you bring back Moyes, you might see a change of fortune. But if you, on this channel tonight, don't accept that Moyes was the best thing to happen to your club, then be prepared to be in the Championship. And Dan, what happens to Lawless if he's in the Championship?
There's no place for Championship teams on this channel, I'm afraid.
Okay. So that
maybe we'll get a Fulham. Maybe we'll get a Fulham fan or a Brentford fan or something. You know what I mean?
That'd be riveting.
Cool.
You know what I mean? That's what it might be.
I'm sorry, I have to.
Nah, go on, Dej. Love, bro. Love. We're gonna wrap up anyway, but let me just get
zero self-awareness from that man. Zero fucking self-awareness. as he had dinosaur defensive manager after dinosaur defensive manager. They wanted saucy Ange ball, and now look at them. It's really pisses me off when he like, you can say what you want about my club, but when it applies to you, don't act like it don't apply to you.
Yeah, Deji, to be fair to him, has got no self-awareness about Spurs. That is fair. Lastly, Don, what you're saying on West Ham before we let Lourdes come into close? Talk to me.
Boy, listen, I thought man like Graham was gonna come in and do a little bit better than, you know, the great Lopetegui and whatnot. And it seems like the only thing he's really done is help them defensively at the minute. But offensively, they're not really scoring goals. You know, I'm not seeing much cohesion. Their players are delinquents. They're misbehaving. You know, you've got that Viking Fulkrug, whatever my man's name, coming out talking about, you know, the manager's instructions are clear. These guys don't wanna follow what the manager's showing them. So it's a shit show for these lot. Yeah, and they're lucky that Ipswich and these guys have just been so bad, because they're another one that could have been dragged into a relegation thing, right? You, United, Tottenham, right? You man still ain't even touched 40 points and you're safe. Yeah. That goes to show you how poor the three teams that came up have been. You know what I mean? But I keep telling all this, bro. Fix up in the summer. Otherwise, bro, next year you might not recover. Yeah. You might not recover if that happens. I'm telling you, bro. You're laughing now. But start of the season, you was talking about top 6 finishes and that. Yeah. Bare Chelsea fans were talking about, oh, this is what Chelsea need to be doing. Yeah. Go bring me what's that centre back called? What's my man? Todibo. Yeah. Man, are creaming over Somerville and these man. Somerville has been a flop, by the way.
He's been injured. He's been injured.
He's still been a flop. He's still been a flop, brother. You know what I mean? Injured, so. He's still been a flop. Lavia's been a flop.
If he stayed fit, we'd probably be 10th.
Yeah, but Lavia's been a flop at Chelsea so far. As good as he is, he's been a flop because we've barely seen him, right? It's the same thing as Somerville. He's been a flop so far, bro. I was expecting this guy to come and light things up. And even when he was there, Lopetegui wasn't really playing him, was he? He was benching this guy. You know what I mean? Kudus left wing and that. You just need to, you know, put this season into rice and you go again. You go again in the summer. I would break up that whole team, like what you were saying on Twitter. I saw you losing your head in that, right? And bring in some players that actually want to play for the club and go like that, bro. Probably even sell Kudus and buy 3-4 players, sell Paqueta, all these man, Creswell, get rid of all these guys.
I agree with Don. I think you need to get rid of Kudus, Paqueta, all these guys. They've been frauds this season. That Kudus, man, I was like, this guy's decent. We did a show not too long ago saying, do you think Arsenal will get him? Do you think Arsenal will get him? Actually, I think he's down the pecking order in quite a few positions now. I wouldn't want him personally. Paqueta as well. That guy hasn't turned up for God knows how long. I don't know what's happened to him. Maybe he's worried about stuff off the field, but Bowen, by the way, I think he's the most underrated player in the Prem. I think he's so good, man. I can't believe he's still at West Ham. Real talk. I can't believe he's still there. Like, he must really love the club, or for some reason, no one wants him. Because I think he's a baller, mate. Yeah, that ball to Souček was unbelievable. that cross. But yeah, West Ham are dusted. Graham Potter was losing his head in the conference, trying to swear and shit. And West Ham are just rubbish, Lawless. I don't know. You're done now, yeah? You tapped out, don't care anymore, want the owners out yet, want Potter out yet, want the players out yet? What's happening with you?
Listen, yeah, I've said this. Potter out makes no sense. It makes no damn sense, because even if you do really want him out, he ain't going anywhere until the end of next season when we can get rid of him for nothing. It's not happening. Keep dreaming. I think the idea of it is ridiculous. We've seen the same shit now under 3 different managers. Well, this all started last season under Moyes. It started then. It continued into Lopetegui, and it's continuing into Potter. So the common denominator are these weak-ass, cowardly players. That's the common denominator. It's players out.
How many, though? How many players are you keeping then?
I would get rid of potentially 16 to 18 players. That's how many I would seriously get rid of.
Wow. 16 players. So you're keeping literally, like, your best players this season have been who? Wan-Bissaka, Bowen.
Yeah. I'll keep Todibo if he needs to get his fitness up. He could potentially go, but I'll keep Todibo. I probably
Areola.
keep Emerson. Areola, I keep. Somerville, I keep, even though he's been injured. I hope he can come fit again. I keep Fulkrug if he can stay fit. I think he's a good player. But a lot of these players,
He's been a flop though, that full crew. He's
yeah,
been
because he's been injured. He's been injured. It's a difficult thing, man. If you're injured, what can you do? Like,
So
at
you
the end of the day,
Paqueta and Kudus, yeah?
Paqueta, Kudus, Ward-Prowse, Rodriguez can go. Sufal can go. Honestly, what have I got? 7 there. Fabianski, maybe Creswell can go. Mavropanos can go. Maybe, I don't know how I feel about Kilman. I think Kilman's a good player at heart, but he's suffering from the same fucking thing a lot of these players. And this is the problem. And Fulkrug hinted at it, but this is why we're conceding so many late goals, because of the spinelessness of a good portion of these players. Every time we score, let's back up, let's back up, let's back up. Let's shit ourselves. Let's give the team all the space. Where's the pressing? Potts, the last game we won was against you at Arsenal. We have not seen that fight and that effort and work rate since that game. That was 2 months ago.
That's crazy.
Where's that? Where the fuck is that at West Ham? Where is that?
That last 10 minutes, that last 2 minutes was a joke, bruv. Like, literally.
I see it coming. You go and watch, like, I'm screaming, press! Fucking press. I'm screaming at these clowns to press. And then
that Baleba or Baleba, whatever they call him, Baleba, that goal, man. What the hell? They're just watching him.
Yeah. You just sit back. You're just sitting there giving him all the space. Just stick everyone in our box and just open up a bit and go there. All right, have a go, mate. Same way how the first goal went. You don't fucking press. You don't force players to have to pass. You just give them a chance. And that's the problem. And like I said, it's a mentality problem. On paper, this is a good group of players. Okay, we're missing pace, we're missing balance. But you look at the players and you go, yeah, he's good. But get the mentality, they're broken up here. Because every time we score, protect the lead. Fulkrug's already said Potter's not telling him to do that. I like Potter's press conference. People say, he's cracking. No, yeah, like, be pissed. Because we don't want to come out here and do what Chelsea fans got annoyed with and said the lads gave everything. This was positive. He's like, no, I don't want to talk about positives. Fuck the positives. Because I don't feel positive. So, yeah, man, I don't respect these players. I can't stand them. It needs gutting, like Don said. It needs gutting. So, next summer, this is all these fans that sitting there. That's what I said on my reaction. But if he wouldn't have brought on Sufal and put him left back, it's like, I'm telling you, it does not fucking matter what player plays where on that football pitch. They are frauds and they are cowards. It doesn't matter what combination you want to put on that pitch. Who starts, who comes off the bench, where they come. It's the same result every single week. It's 2 months now. And we've seen different substitutions. We've seen different lineups. It's the same bullshit. So you can't sit there and go, Sufal's left back. That's why we lost the game. Fuck off. We lost the game because we score a goal and we shit ourselves. And we just regress back into our own half. I said it, like, they can't score if the ball's in their half. Why just give them the ball?
You've got... I think you're done now. I think you're totally like... I said that I thought West Ham would be a terrible club now for a while and down the bottom again. I don't even see West Ham getting top half next season.
But you're basing that off nothing, Potts. Like this, a lot of what you say is based off of...
Well, you've just said that everyone's got to go. So, of course...
Yeah, so problem solved. The poison, the toxic...
Nah, man, that's going to take you ages if you're getting rid of that many. That's going to take you a whole of next season. We might not get rid
of that many. That's how much I would like to see fuck off, right? But it's not realistic. So we get rid of some of the worst and we reinvest. So,
but the players you want to get rid of aren't actually the worst of the worst. Because like Kudus and Paqueta were supposed to be like the two best West Ham players along with Bowen.
Yeah, but their mentality is shit because Kudus only turns up for the big games. Mr. Highlight Reel. Like, it's not fucking... I know he scored against Brighton, but apart from that, it's just not good enough. I've made so many excuses for him this season. Same with Paqueta. Like, Paqueta, class player, we don't see it often enough. It's not consistent. It's no good just turning up here and there, like when the cameras are rolling.
I think I think it will be a long time before we see West Ham doing what they were doing with Moyes. That's what I will say.
But this is the thing, like, and this is what so many people neglect. Oh, Moyes. It started under Moyes. Don't forget, we was getting slapped 6 Don lights to get. I got 5 on it. Fuck off.
5 on it.
Yeah. It started. Now, who was the manager? David Moyes.
To be fair, we did put 6 past you, and Declan Rice scored an absolute banger.
I'm pretty sure Odegaard scored that game, innit? Pillow
yeah, man. Everyone, literally, the whole of the London clubs just absolutely had fun with West Ham last season. So that was crazy.
It would be the same. It would be the same shit we would be in if we had Moyes. It's no different. It's like I said, 3 different managers.
It's the owner, man. The owner's got to go.
Fucking manager.
Sullivan's got to go, man.
Sullivan's got to go. But this is the thing: you can't get owners out. He's 76 years old and decided he should be our director of football. He's a fucking porn baron. He made 30 films, and he's decided he's going to be our director of football. Are you mad? This is what I said to the fans. I said to West Ham fans, I said, you want to sack Potter? Guess who he's going to replace him with? Fucking Gareth Southgate, Steve Cooper, Sean Dyche. You think Sullivan is going to go and get us someone actually excited that's going to beat this shit hot? Because they're all going, oh, what about Marco Silva? We ain't getting no Marco Silva. We ain't getting no Iraola. We ain't getting any sexy, fun manager that you want out there. We're getting fucking Dyche, Cooper, Southgate if we sack Potter. I'm sticking with Potter right now. Right? I'm sorry. Man. It's just it's a waste of time being manager out right now. And like I said, you just think this is.
I agree. I don't think you should get rid of Potter after like literally a couple of months, but I ain't been impressed with what I've seen from West Ham lately. But that's what it is, man.
I think fans, it's modern football. You just wave a magic wand and go, right, change one person. It's easier. It's so much easier.
You've got to give it time. You have got to give it time with Potter. But I think your summer.
None of
your summer's got to be, your summer's got to be like elite. And I don't know, man. He spent money. To be fair, you've spent a lot of money, West Ham. So it ain't like you ain't spent money. It's just what you've brought the players in with. It's just like not been good enough, man.
Next season, all he has to do, right? Next season, if we start and build again, right? Get me fucking mid-table to top 10 finish, and just don't bore us to death on a weekly basis.
Go for a trophy, man. Go for a trophy.
No, but listen, it's the first season. I'm talking about like
you finished, really, mate. If you would have finished 17th this season and won a Carabao Cup, do you think you'd care? Oh, we got 8. I know that. We got 8th again.
What I'm saying is, of course, I would love to win a fucking trophy. I'm just talking about what my expectations are for him as a minimum, like for the first season. I said, if he can do that minimum of, get us higher up the table, maybe mid-table at least, and better football, a little bit more entertaining. I'm not asking for fucking, the world, just better than what we're seeing. Pressing, hard-working football, none of these lazy pieces of shit that we're seeing now. I'll be content as a first full season for Potter. This is just a starting block. None of these are his players, but that's all he's got to do for me. I'm not asking to get back into Europe on his first full season. We'll see, man.
All right, sweet. Listen, people, we're going to end there. We're going to send you over to Lee Gunner, who's ranting and raving at the moment about Liverpool winning the league and Arsenal fans not caring, so it'll be a good watch. Big up to Sava. On
what phase is slotting? What phase is
slotting? I think he might have titled it that, to be fair, so make sure you go and check that out. Big up to Sava, Football Heritage TV with the super chat. Ange in. He is, of course, being sarcastic. Big up to Sava. Make sure you're following Football Heritage TV as well. And look, we're going to see you next time, people. Go and spam the chat. What phase is slotting? Hashtag what phase is slotting? Or Dan Potts raid, whatever you want to do. We'll speak to you in a bit, people. Laters. We're out of here.